The second important principle of insurance is proximate cause. This is typical to general insurance, right? And proximate cause is defined as the active and efficient cause that sets in motion a chain of events which brings about a result without the intervention of any force started and working actively from a new and independent source. This is a little confusing. One thing we have to note is this proximate cause is not defined in the Insurance Act. Over a period of time, based on case law, this concept has developed. This is very important to insurance domain because, basically the insurance depends on causality. That is, there is a cause of loss. That is the basis. When we speak of cause of loss, now there are two types of insurance policies: named risk policy, all risk policy. In named risk policy, what is happening? The insurance company or the insurer lists out all the causes, all the perils for which he is obliged to settle the claim. He is agreeing to settle a claim. Literally, he lists the causes, the perils, and anything that does not appear in this list, he is not liable to pay the claim. So the cause of loss is very important for establishing the liability of the insurance company for making the payment. In the other policy, all risk policy, in the named policy, they list out the risks. In all risk policy, what they list out is all risks are covered except the risks that are listed as not covered. Other than what is listed as not covered, every other risk means based on fortuitous events, not man-made and voluntary events. Only fortuitous events, all risks are covered except those risks that are specifically mentioned as not covered. Now based on this, the cause of loss becomes absolutely important. Okay? Now, when we say cause of loss is important, then there can always be a possibility of dispute between the insured and the insurer. Before actually discussing what is approximate cause, let us just review an example of tsunami loss. Till tsunami happened in India, no one was aware what it is like to have tsunami. As a matter of fact, none of the Indian languages have the equivalent word for tsunami because we never experienced it. We didn't need the word tsunami, whereas for Japanese it's a daily problem, so they have the word tsunami. And we have adopted the same word. Now, when tsunami loss occurred, many people had loss to their property. They suffered loss. They made claims. Now, some people got the claim settled. Some people's claims were denied by the insurance company. The reason is that people are familiar with flood loss in India, and almost all people have flood loss coverage for their property. But earthquake is not seen in all places in India. Only in some places it is possible, depending on the seismic zone classification. And people do not take this earthquake extension. It is not part of the regular coverage. People will have to pay additional premium and take earthquake extension. Now, many people have not taken earthquake extension because they didn't expect that they are vulnerable to earthquake. They are only vulnerable to flood, so they have taken flood loss. Now, when the claims are made following tsunami, insurance company said, because you have not covered for earthquake, and earthquake being the proximate cause for the loss, the claim is not admissible. Now, looking from the insured point of view, it is only water that has caused the damage. But as a matter of fact, it is the earthquake that set off a chain of events which are not disturbed by any independent source that led to the damage. The sea levels raised because of earthquake. So earthquake is the proximate cause for the loss. So this is how proximate cause is. It is an effective and efficient cause that lead to the loss, right? Without any interference from any external source. Let's see, because this proximate cause can be understood only through examples, and at the end of the day again court may say what is proximate cause and what is not proximate cause. When both the insurance company and the insured, they go for adjudication, it's ultimately court's word that prevails. What is proximate cause, what is not proximate cause. So let's take another example of an accident. A person meets with an accident. He has taken accident policy, right? So if he dies in an accident, he will get compensation. That's perfectly all right. But what happens following the accident? The person did not die, but severely injured, taken to the hospital. He had undergone surgery, hospitalized, and during hospitalization he contracted corona, and soon he died because of the complication rising out of corona. Now insurance company says he died because of corona, therefore he is not eligible for accident insurance claim. But if it goes to court, court may say that accident is a proximate cause. Corona is not the proximate cause. A person who suffered accident and hospitalized because of accident and who had undergone because of accident injuries may die for several reasons in the hospital. But he may die because of surgical complications. You cannot say that he died because of surgery. He may die because of contracting some secondary infection in the hospital, which is not in his control, and he may die because of the complications arising out of this infection due to his surgery. So accident becomes a proximate cause. Therefore, insurance company is liable to pay the compensation as accidental death, though corona has interfered at one stage. Right? So this proximate cause is a matter of adjudication, and we have to understand that proximate cause cannot be fixed in any concrete terms. We have to understand whether the cause is efficient or not. Say for example, there are two multi-story towers, multi-storied apartment buildings close by in the same complex, right? One tower is insured for earthquake, the other tower is not insured for earthquake. Okay, let's say tower A is insured for earthquake, tower B is not insured for earthquake. Now tower A, there is an earthquake and tower A suffers extensive loss, and then it leans, and actually it leans completely onto the tower B. Tower B is not yet disturbed. Tower A totally leaning onto the tower B. Okay. During the course of demolition of tower A, because it cannot be left like that fully leaning, so it has been completely demolished. During the demolition, by falling of this tower A onto B, tower B also gets damaged. Now tower A has got earthquake insurance, their claim gets settled. Tower B does not have earthquake insurance, but they make a claim. Because the damage is not because of earthquake, the damage is because of the falling of this building onto it. So they make a claim based on the falling of object damage. Now the insurance company says earthquake is the proximate cause, not the falling of object. Because the tower B doesn't have earthquake insurance, they deny any claim. Now that's how this proximate cause works, right? So ultimately we have to understand it as what is the most efficient and direct cause Okay, that lead to the loss of the asset. This is very important because it has got legal implications. Okay, and many disputes arise because, see, at the end of the day, ultimately what is insurance? The cause of loss is accepted by the insurance company, then they make the payment. If they don't accept the cause of loss, then they don't make. How to make them accept if it is really the proximate cause? It's only through adjudication.